Hey man, you ever be sitting like chilling and you just be wondering yourself, I wonder what Antonio Brown is up to.
Not really. I ain't gonna lie. Because I know he probably doing something he shouldn't be doing.
He bought an Arena Football League team and things went wrong. Let's hear from one of the best dudes to cover this on the YouTube, Spear, my man Flemlo Raps. Let's hear what he has to say about this situation.
Moves, and somewhere deep inside the mind of a maniac is just a little bit of brilliance. But that brilliance has gotten buried deeper and deeper over time due to erratic behavior, what seems like pretty much zero morals, even turning his back on a man who let him live in his house while he going through a divorce. Come on, man, where does it stop? On the field, this man was one of the best receivers I ever.
Yo, that doesn't get talked about enough. Because absolutely Antonio Brown had no reason to chime in. Like, he had no reason to chime in.
Absolutely not.
Like, why did he decide to?
We got to stop asking, like, why is Antonio? We don't know. We don't know what's going on up there, but we do know probably not a lot at this point.
Or maybe it's too much. You know what I mean? Maybe he got too much going on up there that he can't get these thoughts straight. But don't nothing ruin more than a dude who feels like he got to say something when he absolutely does not.
Dog, we didn't ask for your opinion, man. Nobody asked for you to say nothing. Like, what are you talking for? We ain't asked for this.
Saw. But we all witnessed how at the end he just blew up his career as a player. Well, now it's being reported that he might be at it again, blowing up his career as an Arena League team owner. Last month, AB posted this video on Twitter captioned, "Still, I maintained a level of professionalism and positivity while dealing with this security today. First game as an owner. Stay encouraged." This quick clip is gonna be relevant to the overall story.
Yeah, this is my field. I'm the owner. Nah, I don't think so. But yeah, well, you don't think so. Well, you gonna get off the field. You get off the field right now. You get off. You get off.
All right, more on that in just a second. A deeper story.
AB might be the only dude in the world where you see a clip like that with all the context behind it, and you still go, "Man, what did AB do?" Like, given all of my sensibilities, I'm usually inclined to agree with the man in AB's position. But I know who that is. I'm like, nah, there's more to this story.
Nah, it's wild because I'm watching that like, well, I mean, he is the owner, so technically he's in the right here. But then I'm just like, I don't know, man. I feel like he ain't doing something. I feel like he's doing something he ain't supposed to be doing. I don't know. I don't know why I feel like that. I don't know why I fll like that. I don't know why I feel like that. But that's how I feel.
Why he had his out in Dubai, like, and that's not even the craziest thing he's done.
You know who I blame for all of this? You know who I blame for all of this?
You gonna blame Juju? Or who they blame?
Vontaze Burfict. That's who I blame. Burfict. It's his fault, man. All of this is his fault. It's his fault.
Nah. Y'all blame the state of Florida. Like, everybody acting like Vontaze Burfict did this to him. Antonio Brown is from where?
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Where's he from?
There's plenty of NFL players from Florida who do not behave this way.
And there's also NFL players from Florida. Like, remember my man, Mount Cody from Florida got caught housing alligators in his apartment. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think, if we look at this from the context of, instead of it being Antonio Brown, superstar player for the former Pittsburgh Steelers or whatever, however lens you look at it, and you start putting it with the report of Florida man, every headline makes sense. Every headline makes sense if you just replace Antonio Brown's name with a Florida man. It makes much more sense. You know what I mean?
Florida man exposes himself in Dubai. You know what?
You know what? A Florida man strips naked and quits the NFL. Okay, yeah. Like, I'm just saying, we play Vontaze Burfict. Maybe this was just gonna come out. Like,
Hey, maybe it's not his fault, but maybe he accelerated the process of us getting
look,
here.
we blame CTE. Everybody, look, Florida. Unless sunlight give you CTE, I feel like this is more of that Florida going around. You know what I mean? This got a whole lot of Florida in it. Like,
Florida man named president of Dodger Sports.
it's shame on Jaylen Brown for signing with that. I couldn't imagine signing with the agency that Antonio Brown is the president of. At any point.
Wouldn't even
At
consider
any
it.
point. At any point, man. Like it was before he did that thing in Dubai. It don't matter, dog. Like Antonio Brown was still Antonio Brown. Like, trust me, that's the last time I took Jaylen Brown seriously is when he did that. I gotta look up who signed under them still because
Wasn't Aaron Donald with them too?
yep, I think so. And hasn't he been moving weirdly the last couple of years, couldn't you say?
Listen.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying all of these Antonio Brown headlines make much more sense once you put it in the context of this is a retired man from Florida.
And this whole thing is actually pretty dope. And as far as marketing and storytelling, I would have led with this. See, for those who don't know, Antonio Brown's dad was an arena football star back in the 90s. Touchdown Eddie Brown won AFL League MVP back in 1994 while playing for the Albany Firebirds. So the fact that his son grew up to purchase the current Albany Arena team, it's like the last scene of a movie. But to quote Orson Welles for, I don't know, like the 1000th time, if you want a happy ending, that depends on where you stop the story. Because if this story continues and they drop the second movie, you'll see the son who symbolically purchased his dad's team. And I say symbolically because it's not the exact same franchise, but it's an Albany Arena team just like the one his dad played for. And he even hired his dad to help him run the whole thing. That's a really dope.
Unhinged. My man got a belt clip for his AirPods. I cannot. Look, you see it?
I see it. Listen. Maybe the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Florida man.
Dope story, and maybe it works out in the long run, but for the moment it seems he's actually kinda just running it into the ground. On May 2nd, the Albany Times dropped this headline: head coach, several players out at Albany Empire after pay issues and a quote incident. Now the headline you saw was probably more like this: Antonio Brown's arena football team Albany Empire in chaos after harassment claim and players not getting paid. Harassment claim, chaos, players not getting paid. What the hell is actually going on?
Real talk though, is there an environment you want to be around less than a football locker room that's not getting paid?
No. That is probably the closest thing to hell on earth that we have.
Dog. I'm playing football and I'm not getting paid.
Like you talk about big dudes hitting each other hard and ain't no payoff. Ain't no payoff at the end of all that.
Cole, dudes who are playing in the Arena League have significantly less to lose than anybody in the XFL, right? Like you know what I mean? These are dudes who are at the fringes, you know, like it's like the joke. Whenever you hear somebody shout out they community college, they was this close to dropping fries, brother. They dropping fries and they out here playing football and they need that money. Like they playing football, needing the money, being desperate at that point, and then it's like you not getting paid. And these ain't dudes who can just, you know, if an NFL player gets a check late, ain't no big deal. But like, them checks ain't even that big, dog. That's rent. That's probably rent.
Literally, it's rent.
Ooh, it's got to be a hectic environment. It's got to be. You got to get them checks on time.
Let's unpack. Alright, so AB posted this video and caption claiming he owned the team on April 17th. According to the original article, players stopped getting paid, literally, bro, only 4 days later. The coach Damon Ware confirmed the lack of payment, and not long after, dude up and left the team. So the whole situation is just pretty damn chaotic, and there's a few moving parts that just don't neatly fit. First, the harassment claim. Initially, you see Antonio Brown's name and harassment claim in the same sentence, and you've already assumed that dude's done something terrible. But the harassment portion of the headline doesn't have to do with AB, or doesn't have to do with AB, at least not directly. So apparently, after going 2 weeks without game checks, a few players on the team confronted some team officials. And this whole part takes place on the team bus during the ride back from the game, and of course AB wasn't on this bus. So team officials explained the lack of payment was due to a clerical error, which involved the team changing owners, and that slowed down the checks. According to a more recent report, it seems like this might have been true, because as of now, at least one of those missing payments has been paid. Don't change the fact that it was late though. We've all seen this type of thing happen.
Can't be late. It can't be late. Like, that's
Can't
the thing.
be late.
The less money people are making, the more on time that check needs to. Because what Jerry Jones once had an interesting quote. I don't know how much money I got. Because he don't check. He not checking. Like, you know what I mean? He not checking to see if it's all there. He know it's there. He got teams to manage that money. He ain't got to worry about that. But like, the less money you make, the more times you're opening your bank app and being like, how much I got? You know what I mean? Like, it's gotta be like, I remember when I was working for minimum wage, I knew exactly when that deposit would hit my bank account. And like exactly at what time, at what minute was that deposit going to hit my bank account? Because every time it dropped, I needed it. Like, real talk. Like, it can't be late. It can't be late. Like, and I think that's one of those things where it might have been a clerical error, but it don't matter. The damage is done. It's already late. Like, there are consequences. You know, it's real expensive to be broke out here. Like, it is not cheap.
It is extremely expensive to be broke and poor. It's extremely expensive to be poor and
They're charging you fees and now more of your check that you man. Like,
you know how crazy that is. You ain't got no money and they charging you fees.
Like, that's crazy. Like, oh yeah, you ain't got no money. Let me charge you more money. Like, it's crazy.
Extra $35 since you ain't got no money.
That's nuts. That's nuts. But that's the reality that these dudes on these arena teams are living in. And his check ain't late. And then they look up at who owned the team. A Florida man owns the team. Antonio Brown owns the team. And like, it's not like with Jaylen Brown, where Jaylen Brown chose to be represented by Donda Sports. This is you had no choice in this. You woke up one day and Antonio Brown was in charge of all of your money. Dog, I'm sorry. I want to give him a chance and all that, but not with my money, dog. My money is not long enough to take risk. Like,
Harassment report was filed by a kicker on the team who seemed to be trying to explain kind of what I just said to a whole damn bus full of pissed off football players. They got bills, they got families, and they got responsibilities. I just played 2 games without getting paid, and I'm not trying to hear that. Now, if you
let management do that. See, look, this is advice for the workplace with QnCOLB. Hey, them checks ain't coming in, and you ain't the man writing the checks, it is not your job to explain why them checks ain't coming in. Don't be that dude. Do not be. I understand. You understand why this is not happening. I understand that you can give an explanation. I understand that you think you can fix things. But this is a beyond logic at this point. Ain't nobody trying to be logical when you trying to explain, oh, this is the reason why your money ain't coming in. Especially when you ain't the dude who got the power to say, it'll be in your account in 3 days.
Let me tell you something. If we ain't getting paid on time, I don't give a damn if you do understand why it's happening. You don't say a word. You just complain with everybody else, and you just leave it there. The second you start trying to explain,
you know what you say? You know they gonna think you got paid. They gonna think you got paid.
They gonna think you know what's you know what's going on, huh?
So you got your money? They gonna start watching, come in with Starbucks one day. They going, nah, man. Here's what you say, man. If ain't nobody got paid, and you know the explanation, all you say is, hey, man, I ain't got paid either. That's all you need to say. That's all. You ain't gotta explain it to nobody. That is not your job. They quite literally are not paying you to do that. Nah. Let the boss man explain that to everybody. That's the boss man responsibility. That ain't your responsibility.
Only other thing you should say is, damn, this is crazy. And you leave it at that.
You ain't got to be a leader in that moment. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just say, hey, man, this is nuts.
That's all you got to say. That's all you got to say.
I hope I get paid soon. You know?
Man, we need our money. They know we need our money. That's all you gotta say. We good.
You ain't gotta explain nothing. You ain't gotta get no explanation. You ain't gotta talk to Matt. Nah, man. Just let it go. Let it go. Trust me. I know what you. Because there's some smart people that watch this show, and sometimes being smart can get your ass beat. And this is one of them times that being smart, you need to be smart enough to know when not to be smart, right? And this is one of those situations where it's like, oh man, I ain't getting paid either. That's all you got to do. Like,
you try to give explanations to a bunch of angry football players. That's what you want to do.
And you know why you're doing it? Because you want to show everybody how smart you are.
I don't give a damn about that right now, dog.
And you know what? Only thing you're proving is you're not that smart. Because a real smart man would have been like, well, I know why that's happening, but it's unacceptable. You know what I mean? Like, it can't be late. It can't be late. Like, you know what I mean? It can't be late.
I ain't trying to hear your explanations right now.
It can't be late. It can't be late. That's all you got. It can't be late. Don't explain this to nobody. Nah, dog. You got to just step aside and let them people be mad.
If you're wondering exactly how I came to this conclusion, man, check out this crazy news clip I came across.
Hi, Mark and Sabrina. The player who filed an aggravated harassment report to Albany police is a kicker with Albany Empire. This incident reportedly happened on the bus heading back home to Albany after an away game in North Carolina, but that police report was filed at this local hotel. Michael Hall, a kicker for Albany Empire, says he was the one who filed that complaint.
I was hit by Brandon Cisse.
Brandon Cisse is an offensive and defensive lineman for the Albany Empire.
The money that the players get paid is very important. It is. But when anything changes hands, there's going to be some different stuff. And I don't know if you've ever gotten a new job.
But then the interview started to escalate when his teammates started to interfere.
Just come over here then. Come over here and talk about it. Just speak your truth. No, what y'all are saying is crazy. No, what y'all are saying is actually crazy.
Okay, well, sir, we are here. We have a right to be here. Shut this down right now. He agreed to the interview. Shut this down right now.
Now, teams.
It looked like snitching. It looked like snitching, man. Like, I feel for the man, but he wanted to prove everybody that he had some work because he the kicker. Everybody make fun of him. And then he decided he was going to be, why? Just look, I understand people want kickers to have more respect. Now, I get that. But in the locker room dynamic, man, the kicker just ain't got the clout to explain that to nobody in the locker room. And then he out here talking about... And he out here like, well, I don't know if you ever changed jobs before. To a bus full of dudes playing in the arena league. Like, yes, of course they switch jobs. They're not trying to hear you out here. Stop. Like, I feel like, look, I know that I'm supposed to be more charitable than this, but I feel like that was the tip of the iceberg. Like, I feel like he's been doing stuff like that for a long time. You know what I mean? To get stole on. I don't think that was just one incident, Cole. I feel like he the dude at work that be dry snitching. Like, you know, the dude at work that snitches on you for committing time card fraud because, you know, you didn't take no lunch. You know, you had lunch, but you didn't take a lunch, right? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's the dude who's like, I see you didn't put a 30-minute break in there. It's like, what are you doing?
And you're not the boss. You're not the boss?
You're not the dude that's supposed to be giving me. Nah. You the kicker? Nah. Why are you trying to explain? Dog, You better sit down and know your role. Like, come on,
Hey,
man.
can we talk about that? Hey, there's no worse person at work than the person that thinks they in charge and they do the same job that you do.
I'm just saying.
That is the person. That's the person that gets stolen. I'm not gonna lie. That's the person that get beat up. That's the dude who get beat up.
That's the dude that get kicked out the union. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the dude. That is exactly who we're talking about. And then look, if this is you at work, please stop. You know what I mean? This is your message. You enjoying some entertainment. If you feel like we talking about you, we not. But if this does feel like you, hey, bruh, stop. Okay, like you'll have a much healthier work life.
If you feel like we talking about you, we are. Stop being a loser, dude. Stop being a lame. Stop snitching. Stop snitching. What you snitching for? You not the boss. What you snitching for?
Maybe if you stop doing this, they will invite you to the bar after work. You know what I mean? Like, nah, dog. Like every workplace got one. I don't know why, but every workplace got one. And it seems like that was the workplace dude who was out here snitching. Like, and you know somebody snitching when they tell your truth.
I was like, oh yeah.
I'm just telling my truth. That is the official anthem of snitching. Okay, like I wanted to be on dude's side. You know?
I did too. Until I see him do the interviews, I'm like, oh, so you got
like, oh. And then basically the dude showed up like, hey, bro, you on TV snitching?
He about to beat you up again.
had the reporter like, he has a right to be here. Dog, snitching.
He gonna beat you. Hey, he gonna beat your ass when the camera's going.
Snitching. How coach know we went out last night? The kicker?
Snitching.
Stop it. Just stop it. And it's crazy to be the workplace snitch in a place like football. Well, I guess you can't go around punching kickers, right? Like a DB could never be the workplace snitch in football because you can swing on a DB. The only people who could be the snitch is the quarterback, and if he good, he gets away with it, and then the kicker and punter. Like, those are the dudes. Because it's not acceptable to hit those dudes. But everybody else has a different form of regulation going on right there. Like, nah, it's crazy. That's crazy. This Antonio Brown story is insane.
Speak your truth. Jeez.
This list right here and having a dude who hit him first on the list does not help his cause because now everybody else like, yup, he was definitely like, honestly, if you was snitching, get me on the list too. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, you gotta come and get tracks.
Mm-hmm. He must be friends with management. You know what I mean? Like,
put that man's name first name on the list.
Above the coach. Above the coach.
Oh man,
that's crazy.
That's
crazy. Hey, look, also everything we said here applies if you go to public school. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I went to public school and it all applies. Okay. Don't be the workplace snitch. Just don't. It never benefits anybody. It doesn't.
Not saying they hit nobody, but I'm guessing that's where it stems from. But it's one of those situations where I feel their frustration. How could you not get their skepticism dealing with a guy who's so erratic? If Antonio Brown was your boss and your check didn't show up, if you didn't assume the worst, I might think something was wrong with you. But at the same time, man, the way this is reported or the way the headlines read is pretty damn misleading. And just to get the real gist of what was actually going on, I had to go through several different articles and piece the story together. The lack of communication up front and the sloppy yet flashy business style that comes with Antonio Brown took what would have been an uncomfortable situation and helped escalate it to damn near mutiny. And when the coach texted AB about the payment situation, instead of calmly explaining it and promising to fix it ASAP, according to the now former head coach of the team, AB AB got mad and texted him violent threats. The coach said dude was a nightmare to work with, and here's a couple of quotes from Coach Damon Ware. It became all about him, not the football team. We built a wonderful organization over the past 3 years. He came in and killed it. Damn. Man, I feel for the coach because over the last 3 years, they really did build something that dude could be proud of. For the last 2 seasons, the Albany Empire won back-to-back Arena League championships. But with this one acquisition, they've been thrusted into chaos. And when asked about leaving the team, here's what the former coach had to say. It's a happy day for me to be out of this crazy situation. Goodbye and good riddance. Dude said, bro, I'm out. To wrap.
Look, man, if a Florida man decides to buy your favorite football team, I want to know how he even got approved to do this. Honestly, we're not putting enough of the shame on the AFL for letting this happen, because I don't care how much money. If Antonio Brown said he wanted to buy a team in a league that you care about, you got to tell him, nah, dog, that's not good for us.
Florida man destroys football franchise.
He's going to destroy the league. Think about it like this. There can't be that many teams in the Arena League, right? There's got to be 8, 12 teams. That team folds. That's a percentage.
I kind of want to look that up. See how many teams are in the AFL. That's actually
So there are only 7 teams in this league that the Albany Empire play in. The National Arena League, the NAL.
Oh, okay. So they're in the National Arena League. Okay.
Yeah. There are only 7 teams, which means if the Albany Empire fold, that's a significant percentage. How can you let Antonio Brown on the team? That is on the NAL. Nobody knows who they are, so they're gonna slide. But why did you put all these dudes' future in Antonio Brown's hands? How did that sale get approved?
That's just unfair to all of them, to be completely honest. You everything that this man has done the last couple of years, and you thought, hey, what?
This gets even crazier, Cole.
What happened?
So I'm on the website and I see this headline that says Antonio Brown suits up. This is why they let him buy the team. He is about to play arena football. Yep.
All right, man. All right.
Oh my God. This thing says at the bottom of it to contact Antonio Brown for sponsorships. Email cabrecords84@gmail.com.
All right. I'm done. I don't feel bad for nobody now. I'm done. I'm good.
Oh.
I'm good.
Oh, what?
Hey, this video could have been so much shorter though. If we would have known that from the beginning.
What?
This video could have been like 10 minutes. He gonna play the league. Okay.
I ain't got no more bandwidth for Antonio Brown, man. That's it. I got nothing. I had nothing for that. I have absolutely nothing for that. Y'all have a great day. Everybody else have a great night. I got nothing. That I could not believe. Wow.